I think everybody wants to see upholstery.
No, I'm not going to do upholstery.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. Don't want to do it. Been too long.
Yes, you are.
Forgot everything.
Oh, yeah?
I won't do it. I tell you.
Yes, you will.
All right, I will. Oh. How'd you get over there?
Magic.
Hey, all right, then you do the upholstery first.
Oh, my goodness. I wish this was electrified. I'd sit in it.
Well, you wouldn't have fun sitting in it with just the springs. This is a lovely old chair.
It would be bouncy, bouncy.
Let me rephrase that. This is an old chair.
You're an old chair.
We're going to completely reupholster it. And the first thing you do after you take out all the old fabric and all the old stuffing, hey, show them how much stuffing came out of this chair.
Oh, my, this? You really want to see this?
All of that came out of this chair. Like my mother, who was 97 pounds, used to point at me and say, can you believe this came out of me?
Look,
well,
if we can just upholster over this, and that's what people did. They actually had upholstery over top of upholstery over top of upholstery. Instead of removing it all.
I had to take off 3 levels of upholstery. Something from 10 years ago, something I think from the 50s, and the original upholstery, which is probably in the 30s. This is a 30s production.
Everybody, what is this? Horsehair.
That's right. Now, that's a sandwich. Here, no, pick that up again. Let's
pick it up
show 'em.
again? Wait, look, bald spot cam.
There's always 2 kinds of stuffing in upholstered pieces. Something that's dense and firm. In the old days, it used to be horsehair or straw. And something with more comfort and loft, which is that cotton batting. We'll be replicating that with dense foam and then Dacron wrapping that, creating the loft and the softness. All right.
I can't wait.
Please throw that.
Okay, let's get this out of here.
Some
I'm going to
sort
put
of dumpster.
This on some milk later. It's like shredded wheat.
So, the first thing we do, well, let's go over the tools you'll need.
Oh, yes.
Look, there it's on my little round, Academy
Here,
Award
I'll
base.
point. Look.
That's a tack puller.
See, a tack puller?
Yeah, you pull out the old tacks, which were used in the very old chairs.
This is another one.
Now, that's a staple puller.
Oh, right, a staple puller.
Staples you'll find in newer chairs. There's the needle nose pliers, good for when you visit Colorado or pulling out stubborn staples. And that, you're going to have to hand that to me. That's the magnetized tack hammer. Can I have that? There you go. There's your big wooden mallet. That's for...
Order at a court. I'll have a ham sandwich.
That's right. That's for banging in fabric so it doesn't mar it. And then, of course, the good scissors.
These are the good scissors.
These are the good
Do you know
scissors.
my mother?
Yeah.
Everybody, I think, had a mother that said, where are the good scissors? Because there was always a bad scissor and a good scissor. My mother would say, where are the good scissors? And she'd ask my brothers and I, and nobody knows. She said, when I find them, I'm going to put them up my ass. There you go.
But these are not the blunts.
They're not the blunts.
Now, to my daughter, I say, where's the blunt? Times change. All right, and one last thing. The twine. No, the twine.
Oh, the twine.
The twine. Don't say it.
I'm not going to say it.
Don't say it.
I'm not going to say twine daily.
And so, now it's time to tie springs, which I haven't done in 17 years until I started doing this the other night. And the first one was horrible. And then the second one was easier. And by the third one, I was humming to myself. It comes back to you like riding a bike or making love. Except this, I hate. All right. So now I'm going to start to tie the springs.
You're going to explain the tie situation here? You got it tied like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, these are 8-way hand-tied springs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, 6, because I'm going to do the 8th one for you for your dining and dancing pleasure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go get my tools because I'll be right back. Okay?
You're going to help.
Well, you're going to show this, and I'll be right back.
Okay, fine. All right. So it's almost all tied except for the last 2 twines. So here's how you do it. You get a big upholstery tack. These are called number 12s. They're almost 1 inch long, and they're used for tying springs. And I've made a little slip knot on the first, on one end. And how an upholstery tack hammer works is it's got a magnetized end that you lift up a tack with, and then you bang it down into the wood. And then after that's in the wood, you turn the hammer around and bang it in the rest of the way. However, this old chair has been upholstered so many times, it's got Swiss cheese. So I'm not going to make new holes because that would be madness. I'm literally going to stick this one in the old hole. I've already tied the twine to it. So I put that in there, and then I bang it down. And once you learn how to tie springs, you always want to forget, but you never do. So around the first spring, you loop it around the spring. And then you loop it over itself. And then you're locked. And then, I'm going to say and then a lot. You loop it around the center of the rest of the spider web springs there. And then you loop it around the next spring. You could tie it to this, loop it around this twine. I'm not going to. So I loop it around there once, and then I loop it over itself. I know this would be so much more easily seen if I could do it with invisible fingers, but mine are in the shop. And then I loop it around the center twine, pull it that way, and then finally around the last one. Oh, you're back.
Yeah.
And then I must affix it there. Take another one, put it in a hole. That was already there. Bang that down a little bit. 1, 1.5. I'm going to pull it underneath this. Wrap it around there. Pull it that way. Pull it that way. Where's my thingy? And then the last thing you do for safety, oh God, I'm going to have to make a new hole. All right.
You're not watching.
And here we do the last one, banging in the safety tack. The safety tack, like men without hats. No one remembers. And it's better that way. And so now I'm going to tie the last one, this long diagonal all the way over. What are you going to do?
I actually am going to read from the preeminent American author, Charles Bukowski, from Ham on Rye. Notice the 2 pair of glasses. Chapter 1. The first thing I remember is being under something. It was a table. I saw a table leg. I saw the legs of the people, and a portion of the tablecloth hanging down. It was dark under there. I liked being under there. It must have been in Germany. I must have been between 1 and 2 years old. It was 1922. I felt good under the table. Nobody seemed to know that I was there. There was sunlight upon the rug and on the legs of the people. I liked the sunlight. The legs of the people were not interesting, not like the tablecloth which hung down, not like the table leg, not like the sunlight. Then there was nothing. Then a Christmas tree, candles, bird ornaments, birds with small berry branches in their beaks, a star, 2 large people fighting, screaming. People.
All right, all you civilians out there saying, oh, it's so beautiful. And all your upholsterers say, he stinks. I know. Shut up. Get your own show. All right, then. So the next thing you do is cover your spring bed with burlap. This, of course, separates things that can dig up into the stuffing, and it's giving you a barrier. You know, it's just like that spit coat of shellac Joe uses a lot. Here it is. The other thing is, you're going to cut your burlap the same way you're going to cut your cover fabric, so it's good practice on how to make what's known as a release cut. So I pull it in the front, and I get my, ooh, I forgot to show you this tool. I'll swing her around here. This is my staple gun. Her name is Mavis. This staple gun, in the words of Woody Guthrie, kills fascists. All right, here we go. whenever you do any kind of upholstery attachment, always start with a staple right in the center. In the front, pull it tight in the back, pull it tight to one side. Pardon my rear end. Tight to the other side.
Chapter 8. I took the envelope home to my mother and handed it to her and walked into the bedroom. My bedroom. The best thing about the bedroom was the bed. I like to stay in bed for hours, even during the day, with the covers pulled up to my chin. It was good in there. Nothing ever occurred in there. No people, nothing. My mother often found me in bed in the daytime. Henry, get up. It's not good for a young boy to lay in bed all day. Now get up. Go do something. But there was nothing to do.
Écoutez. So you need a release cut. Release cuts are what you do to fabric, or in this case the burlap, to make it tailored around visible elements such as this. You want to practice doing this on something that doesn't cost much, like the burlap. So here I'm folding this in. That's exactly how your fabric will be folded and pulled, nice and tailored. Practice on this burlap. So I hold it back here, and I got to get a little snoop in here. So when I pull it back, I can pull this tight, and you might have to do these little snoops deeper and deeper until none of this happens. You don't want any of that wrinklage, as opposed to Dinklage, who was a fine actor, who I discovered in a flea circus.
Chapter 20. There were times when Frank and I were friendly with Chuck, Eddie, and Gene, but something would always happen. Usually I caused it, and then I would be out, and Frank would be partly out because he was my friend. It was good hanging out with Frank.
One step to this side.
We hitchhiked everywhere. One of our favorite places was this movie studio. We crawled under a fence surrounded by tall weeds to get in. We saw the huge wall and steps they used in the King Kong movie. We saw the fake streaks and the fake buildings. The buildings were just fronts with nothing behind them. We walked all over that movie lot many times until the guard would chase us out.
See? All right, now I'm going to do that on all the other four corners and in the back as well. All right, my burlap is down covering the springs. I put another piece of burlap, stapled it in over here, not to cover the springs, but when I put the padding here, if I don't have something to stop it, it's going to be over on the next chair. And now we have decisions to make. Up until now, it's all been orthodox. But now you get to choose how much and what kind of stuffing you want in the chair. I've approved the following compound construction: foam and Dacron. Support, loft, and comfort. I've notched this out to go around those legs in the back. I'm just going to slide it right in here. Oh, and it fits. I don't want the foam coming down to cover this front board because then it'll look too puffy, and I don't want it to look too puffy. The Dacron, and I've just cut this into a general shape so I can trim it as I need it here, and I can just tear it. That is going to create my soft curve. When I pull this down, and I'm not going to staple this in, the fabric is going to staple this in and define all my curves. So I've got a hard edge ending right at the front hard edge, and then I'm going to wrap the softer background around it and create the look and the feel that I want. This doesn't have to be too stuffed because nobody's sitting down on this. This is the thing that has to be firm. And so for here, I just literally can tear this and adapt that, and then I can cut this part off. I guess I will. And that's starting to literally take shape. I'll just work this around the back, tear it there where I need to get it around the back legs. You thought I was going away. Same rip job over here. And I will just, this stuff tears. If you're careful, you can tear it in pretty much a straight line. Where do you buy all this stuff, you ask? As well, you might. Well, a lot of it can be gotten at big fabric stores. Fabric stores that sell most of their fabrics for clothing usually have upholstery supplies and some upholstery grade material, probably in the back or down in the basement, because they know that it is a hellish experience to do what I'm doing, and who wants to do it other than me? No one. And so you can also buy Dacron and foam and burlap. However, for some of these specialty tools that I've been mentioning, you might have to Google or look up upholstery supply stores. You got one in your city. If you live out in Yenisville, where the zip code is EIEIO, you got to go online and probably order it. C.S. Osborne and Company is a good supplier of upholstery tools. Patterson, New Jersey? Harrison, New Jersey? I don't know. C.S. Osborne for the tack pullers and such. And the rest, of course, you know, the staple guns, your home center. Although I prefer to go to Mr. Knofko's hardware store, where if you describe something, he'll say, yeah, I think I got that. You go to the big home centers, 48 people, no one knows which aisle is which. Go to aisle 37.C, and you go there, you take your hoverboard, and then they say, no, next building over. I think that's enough of me. So the next thing I'll be doing is laying the same construction on the back, and then it's all going to be pulled down, tied together, and looking lovely when I cut the fabric. Yeah, sit. Sit on that.
Really?
Sit on it, please. Now, how does that feel? Not the back, just the seat.
The back doesn't.
The back is not
the
right.
The seat feels fine. The springs are nice and tight.
Mm-hmm. So you might want to put more Dacron on top. You might, if you want it firmer, you put more firm foam. If you want it softer and springer up at the top, you put on more Dacron. You can customize the feel. That's what I'm telling you.
This is technical stuff you're learning here, I'm telling you. I was taking a nap. I mean, I was over the other side there watching, and I almost went to... Yeah.
I know,
right.
I'm with you.
It's just, you know,
I'm with you.
The thing is, with finishing, there's fumes that keep you up.
Oh, wait a minute, I'm
With
taking
this,
it off
it's
again.
just stuff that gets stuck up your nose.
Now, this is what you would ordinarily do if your old fabric was in good condition.
Oh, you want
Joseph
this?
Vincent,
You
please.
want this?
Yeah.
Look.
See, that's wrong, because a little bastard terrier lives in the house with this chair, and this is what he does.
Look at this. I thought this was from you.
So give me the nice fabric.
This is
what
the brand new stuff. Look
ordinarily would do
ta-da.
is lay this down, put this over top of it, and just trace. Then you've got the new fabric cut just like the old fabric. But you can see this is a piece of ripped up chazarai.
But you still got these here, right? Can't you utilize that?
No.
So what are you going to do? You're just
I'm going to do it right on the chair.
Right on the chair.
Like if,
you must be a professional.
No, actually, I stink at this. It just got me on television.
There's truth I've ever heard. Careful, I fixed the chair. Don't break it. Here's your staple. You don't need the staple gun, you do.
Soon I will. Soon I.
That.
Oh, wait! Hold up the old fabric. I got to show them this.
What? This
is serendipity.
Really? No, I thought it was fabric.
Look, do you see this floral, kind of paisley floral curved fabric? Horrible, awful. But look, this modern version, and we didn't even know this when we picked it out, kind of replicates that floral frond curve.
Not only that, but these kind of work with this, with the diameter or
Right.
the curve of the arms.
Like Dorothy Parker said, with fronds like these, who needs anemones?
Right.
And so, we lay this fabric over top, and we pull it through the back, through this slot.
How much you want hanging over here?
Not
I don't
that
know.
much, because now I got nothing hanging
Well,
over
that's
here.
why I'm saying you got to look, and it's hard for you to look when you're there on the side because you can't see from down on the front.
Because I could go around, but then all they see is my keister, and then there was keister if I'm talking Archie Bunker, tuchus if
Keister.
I'm talking my father.
But
It was a lot like Archie Bunker, only Jewish.
It was tuchus,
Tuchus.
not tuchus, you people.
No.
tuchus.
That's strictly for the shiksas. Pull that through, Chief.
Well, I got this here.
That's all right. We'll make that snoop later.
Have a little snoop. There you go.
See, the stuffing is just sitting. The stuffing was never stapled or attached in any way.
So pull it tight there. See?
Yeah.
Look at
now,
that.
then
I like it just like that.
Pardon me, but I want to see. This is not an emblem. When you're getting fabric and you're doing it for the first time, you don't want stripes. They're hard to work.
Yes.
You don't want a big emblem. You got an emblem. You got to center it. Get something like this that it doesn't really matter, really, even which way it's looking.
If it's off, yeah.
So I'm going to pull this. I'm going to lay
Get
this
that
over.
Dacron.
Now, is that the way I want it to look?
I don't know, is it?
Yeah, the answer is yes. So one staple
Sounds
and maybe another one.
like it needs
Now I
oil.
got the front pulled. Now I'm going to go around to the
back.
rear
You want it-
and nail it from the rear. Oh,
How about that?
I usually do that work all alone.
How about that?
Yeah, sure, why not?
See, I could be your lazy Susan.
Oh, there's so much here. This stuff really rips off easily. Here, you can stuff more in your sideburns, President Arthur. Hey, the only two-term president that never succeeded himself. What a crazy thing. I'm pulling this underneath.
No politics.
This is 150 years ago politics.
Colonel Sanders. If anybody knows who Colonel Sanders is,
Oh, he's around.
he's dead.
All right, we flip it
Good
around.
chicken.
Flip it around again. All right then. Well, I already pulled out one staple. Remember,
Got it.
upholstery is cumulative. No one thing is going to do it all. It's like the springs got tighter every one I tied, and the
And now-
staples every one I put in.
So you're going to pull on the sides
I'm
now,
going to
huh?
pull on the sides.
Okay. And you got to do the release cuts. When would you do the release cuts?
After I get one staple
1, 2,
in
3,
the
4.
center of
Okay.
each run.
One, so north, south, east, west.
You got it. See, now you don't always let me paint, but I'm going to let you staple.
I don't want to.
All right, then.
No,
I
I'll
will.
do it. I'll do it.
Pull
just
it
want me to
nice
pull
and
this-
tight. Tight with one hand, but not so tight. No, a little less tight.
A little less tight. How's that?
Fine, we can always, if you pull it tight at first, you can always take the staple out.
That's right.
All right,
My
well,
Aunt
now
B.
we got,
This is my Aunt B.
she was that old and still hairy. So we got a nice dome. We didn't want a flat seat.
I got a
we
nice
want
dome.
We want a dome over here. And so now we're going to make the release cut so it goes
You
around
need the
the arm.
scissors.
Yeah, give me the.
You know, just one is a sizz.
These are the good scissors.
Those are the good
These
scissors.
are the good scissors.